Sihamba la sihamba, sihamba, sihamba la sihamba.
Into yemfundo into engayikhonza ngisemncane impela. Mina ngazalelwa eNiger, Charleston, ilokishi selingekho manje. Ngayofunda eMaromeni, eMonteperico. Ngaze ngofika ku standard 3 kanje. Ngengxaki zomndeni kufanele ngisuke lapho ngiyofunda eAlbertinsville. La khona ishawela khona manje. Ngasuka lapho ke ngawufunda eSt Matthews eMroka lapha eRockville. Sonke leso sikhathi izinto zazilukhuni impela. Ngiyakhumbula eNiger ngangihamba inyawo ibanga elide impela uthola ukuthi ngihamba ihora kuyofika esikoleni. Ngingasho nje ukuthi ukubonisa ukuthi ngangizimisela ngempela ukufunda. Yonke leminyaka ngangiphambili impela esikoleni. Ku number 1 impela kusukela kwaSABC ngaze ngofika kwaMatric. Into engangiyithanda kakhulu incwadi. Noma ekhaya ngakhula incwadi zingekho ngoba umama nobaba kwakungabasebenzi nje. Kodwa ngangazi ukuthi la ngifike khona kunezincwadi. Ngangiyohlala impela nje ngifunde la kufundeka khona. Ngithe lapho ngiyofika kuMatric impela ngase ngibona ukuthi hayi man ikhona into wrong lapha, ikhona into kufanele ilwiswe. Ngenhlanhla empilweni yami ngafundiswa othisha ababenawo umqondo wepolitiki njengomufi uDrake Coker wayewuthisha wami. uDrake Coker nangaphandle kokuthi ngaleso sikhathi ipolitiki yayingakhulunywa nje wayekhuluma nathi ipolitiki asitshela ukuthi hayi ingane zami ukuthi izinto zingafani ingalezi zathu singanaleyo nhlanhla. Wathola ukuthi ke noma ngiya phambili kwaMatric ngize kuyofika kwaMatric ngakufunda eMaromeni lapho noma bengayikhuluma ipolitiki kangaka kodwa sasinokukhululeka ukukhuluma into esiyithandayo. So ekuthandeni kwami imfundo ikhona nje into eyayingithikimeza leyo yokubona ukuthi ama chances wethu ukuthola imfundo awafani. Yangiphatha kabi leyo nto. Ngiyabona iyona into eyangiphusha ukuba ngijoine imikhandlo engayijoina mase ngikhulile yepolitiki. Ngoba ngibona ukuthi kukhona lokhu ekungafanele kube khona. Kukhona lokhu esikuzuzayo thina abantu abamnyama esinganikwa kona. Ngibona la kwezemfundo.
I became a teacher and I only had matric. I was about 20. In 1972. I matriculated in 1969, but as things went, we never really passed our matric. There was something that we called Fundafut. It's either your Fundafut means you have failed, you must go and start all over again, or you have an S3L, which was like you have passed, but you don't have an exemption, and that is what I got, which meant I had to write in March in 1970. I did not pass. I got another S3L, but there were quite a number of us, and we really stayed with it because we were taught that education, without education, you are nothing. And as a black person, it is even worse. My mother always said, because there were 5 girls and 1 boy, my mother always said that, you must sleep and eat that book. That book is your husband. There's no better husband. So it was in one's mind what you had to do it. You had to pass it.
Ngaqala ukufundisa 1970 in a lady high school. That's where I've taught isikhathi eside khona. Ngiqala nguthisha omsha ekufundiseni. Ngafundisa from 1970 to 75. Kwathi ngo-76 ngazojoyina iPhuthi Secondary School, York City, Orlando West Junior Secondary School. So ukufundisa kwakumnandi ke, kwakuba umnandi kabi uba uthisha ngalo minyaka ngoba inhlonipho yayiningi, ukuzimisela ekufundeni kwakuningi, and abafundi wawungabafundisi njengetipoti uthela itiye bese itiye noma li-weak noma li-strong kulungile ozoliphuza onesibindi sokukubuza ukuthi sokutshela ukuthi leli tiye li-weak uzokutshela. So wawuthi uma unika abafundi umsebenzi ubanike umsebenzi osephepheni uthi kusasa ngicela masiqala nje ukufunda siqale ngokuthi sizokusemaphepheni kuthini. Bese beyawufunda-ke bazolufunda kuba bazimisela ukufunda bafuna ukwazi nokuthi kwenzekani phandle. Ngikhumbula umbuzo wawuye ubuzwe kakhulu bathi yini iphepha lithanda ukuthi so many people died and so many blacks. Bese bethi-ke umbuzo wabo ukuthi kanti abantu abamnyama abona abantu yini ngoba kuthiwa there was an accident and so many people died and so many blacks.
Abafundi bami ngibakhumbula impela babefana nengadi nje ezimbali ezihlukene. Uma unembali ezimhlophe ezibomvu ezinde nezimfishane ngisho nemikhuba yabo yayihlukahlukene. Angiqale ngayo uTsitsi waziwa kakhulu lo. uTsitsi wayehluphile nje vele yena njengomfundi. Kodwa into emqoka abantu kufanele bayiqonde ukuthi uTsitsi wayekhaliphile emqondweni. Ngikhumbula la ku physics uTsitsi uma umiyekelile nje uTsitsi uzokunika u20%. Bese uyasoza umhlokoma impela ukuthi weTsitsi yini le yenzayo uTsitsi yokunika u70 80 90%. Afunde impela aqinise. Kube khona ke abanye babelandela bengazi ukuthi benzani. Ngikhumbula ngelinye ilanga kukhona umfana othile ngiyabona ekhazwe ibhantshi elithize wathi uthisha uMazibuko ukuthi esithenge lamabhantshi ngoba siyendaweni ethize. Abafana bamlandela bawuthenga lawo mabhantshi. So umzali masefika ngithi hayi mina ngikwazi lokho.
I came here in 1975 and one of my classes was one of those classes there on the right hand side of the school. You know, the class there, that's where I did my standard 9 from 4. And a year later, I had to cross this great divide to move over to that other side where you had the matric classes, which were that whole block there, right up until that class where you had your Form 5As, you know, and of course to be in Form 5A at Morris Isaacson, we're like, you know, it was lucky to be there.
First, I used to sit right in front. I do remember that I was a bit quieter. But also because my father and mother were teaching, and the teaching fraternity got to know each other. They knew each other quite a lot. They will have trained in Wilberforce, did their JSOC together. So once your parents were teachers, you sort of get catapulted. You know, you just get thrown up to the front line. So hence, I was never very loud when I was young. Positive in that at least I could spend all of my energy studying.
Baby Chawa kanje naye wayephithizela Baby Chawa lawo bangumsindo eklasini into yayisilwisa nje umsindo eklasini kodwa ngaphakathi phansi kwaloko wawubona nje ukuthi kunokukhalipha la kunokukhalipha angisize ngimfake endleleni ngempela uyambona nje Baby Chawa namanje ukuthi hayi cha emsebenzini wakhe ukhaliphile impela.
Then we had extremely good teachers, very resolved teachers whose duty was to impart education in the best ways they can. And they did it in the best way they did. Quite privileged in terms of the standards, privileged in that it had a character of its own. And I suppose many other people can say so about their schools in Soweto, but my experience of Morris Isaacson is it belonged to its own league. And of course, like Orlando High School, I suppose, I'm certain schools like Madibane, Naledi High would have been counted in the same league, primarily because of the principles and the ethos that those schools imbued, and how teachers themselves conducted themselves in ways that would almost be so obvious that they really, their purpose was to come and make the best of us as the learners.
kodwa into eyayingigculisa impela kubafundini ngaphandle kokuthi-ke babewenza umsebenzi wabo, ngangabafundi impela babewenza umsebenzi wabo. Ngathi sasinenhlanhla nje Maurice, abafundi abaningi babewenza. Ngikhumbula singasikhulumi ngesifundo sami, ngikhuluma ngesifundo se-accounting bakathisha uMantlala. uMantlala kuyona iJMB wayewuthola 100% ngoba abafundi bezimisele. Yabona?
Apart from the fact that I think he was a very good science teacher, there's no doubt about it, and he was one of the best science teachers I ever met. I think what really made him exceptional was that he was much more than just a science teacher. He had a worldview which, if I look back to where I am today, a lot of his influences permeated among most of the students he taught. Did he teach us politics at school? I would not say so. But I think he was a kind of teacher who, over and above just chemistry or physical science, he would touch on issues about life, about black people, in a sense, in a way that I think you as a student, you begin to realize those things. But not in a very in-your-face political way.
I can only make sense of the fact that our teachers were supportive covertly because I want to believe some of them believed in the philosophy of black consciousness, and some of them might have been members of the BCM movement. You know, I can't certainly say this teacher and that teacher and that teacher, but if I want to understand the way they went about supporting us passively and the way they understood the ramifications of the medium of instruction, it's because they were guided by the philosophy of black consciousness.
I was a teacher at a school, and the driving force was that I'm going to use this teaching to raise consciousness, because this power that we must fight is very big and you can't do it alone. So that was the driving force behind me. And I think as a young teacher, not qualified, because I just said my qualification was just matric. I just passed first year of varsity. I was in my second year, and I had to build. But we read. We read. You would sit down every night to prepare for the next day, because you were taught that education is the most powerful weapon. Knowledge is the most powerful weapon. And you as a teacher, you are actually responsible for that. But you know, Rona, we are saying, Rona Sasso teachers, people who are influenced by Sasso, that we are not going to prepare youngsters for servitude. We're going to prepare them for liberation. And that's on the textbooks.
One of the things that I want to share with you is this one other level of the teachers that I think, in a way, influenced me. I was at Orlando North High. I think I was doing Form 2 when Onkopusa Tiro died. I just remember it so clearly. O'Hara Ngoma, then it was O'Hara Ngoma, it wasn't O'Hara Diseko, I think, who was my teacher. She was my social studies teacher. That was a subject that combined some bit of history, civic education, and so on. Came to our class and said we should contribute 5 cents. I mean, 5 cents then was a lot of money. It meant, oh my God, contribute 5 cents. I won't have my quota, you know. And then she tells us, hey, lifatsili something kamadi. Lifatsili lwanela kamadi, kapalepato kamadi, you know. Then explains to us, not very elaborate. Somebody has died, was killed by a bomb. This person was a member of SASO. And I remember that very clearly. I remember that's when I got very interested to know, who's this Onkopusa Tiro? I must have been towards 15, 14 years old or so. 15, I'm sure. Who was this Onkopusa Tiro? You know, then we got to know, became very inquisitive. And over so many years, that 5 cents contribution to me has been so vivid in my mind to say, I think that's exactly when I started to understand that there is something that's not right in this country. There's really something eerie, you know, there's something that's just not right. and with more and more reading, got to understand the politics of the country.
One should mention that, at the time in those days, teachers tended to be somewhat more reserved about their political affiliations. And those of us who attend meetings on weekends that were organized by the Black People's Conventions, BPC, or the National Youth Organization, NAYO, or even SASO meetings, you would bump into some of the teachers on those weekends and then realize that, hey, this teacher is also, part of the crew, and but because of the work of the security police, you always knew that you don't even raise it as an issue or expose those kinds of teachers in a school environment, because everyone was vulnerable to security police intervention. So for the most part at Maurice Isaacson, there was a benign environment that prevailed. And I think the fact that the teachers made an allowance for us to even have political meetings of the South African student movement in the school hall here, after school, of course. And we could have our meetings, our branch meetings would take place here. And we tended to have more of those in Maurice because Maurice generally tended to allow those things to happen. So in a sense, I think in general, the teachers, largely on account of the principal, Mr. Matabata, himself having been a very accommodating person, and we always thought TAPS, as we called him, knew more about some of the things that were involved in than he would confirm, ordinarily to us. But it was all part of the game and part of the process of saying, in the context of repression and security police involvement, he will play his role and just make it possible for us to do what we needed to do. And we'll try to conduct ourselves as well in a way that would not draw the teachers into our activities.
At the level of the schools, the one school where there was a lot of dissatisfaction and unhappiness was called Orlando West. Go Pesesco. Pefeni Junior Secondary. And the reason was that the inspectors were forcing Africans that mathematics should be taught in Afrikaans. And they were really forcing, they were enforcing Afrikaans as a teaching medium. And there was already resistance growing. But beyond the school, I think there was also other organizations that were manifesting themselves. I mean, people like Bozweli, Bomefi, people like Bozweli, Bomefi, Botsietsi. There was already that. In fact, Tsietsi, I think, came in much later, because even now as a teacher, I was aware of the unhappiness about Africans at Orlando West. But we used to discuss that, not of it. We used to discuss that, and we were aware that there was a lot of unhappiness simmering. So that Afrikaans thing was like the last straw on the camel's back.
Mhla othisha bethola leli secular lokuthi kufanele bafundise ngeAfrikaans, abanye bayathuka ngoba ukhumbula ukuthi ngaleso sikhathi abelungu ikakhulu abaphathi bemfundo abamhlophe babanamandla impela, othisha bebasaba uthisha abaningi. Kodwa babekhona abanye othisha, njengoba sengishilo ukuthi abanye othisha babe ngamalungu embutho ethile, imbutho eyaziwayo ye-Black People's Convention, neminye imbutho yayifanele isebenze ngomshosha phansi ngaleso sikhathi. Othisha bebe ngamalungu ayo yonke leyo mbutho. So abanye ke babezimisela ukuthi bona ngeke bakwenze lokho. So kwakunembono engafani. Kodwa umbono ukuthi angeke kufundiswe ngesibhunu waphumelela ngoba wawusekelwa ngabafundi. Abafundi bathi bona angeke bavunywe ukuthi bafundiswe lezo zifundo ngesibhunu. Othisha abathile nabo bathi angeke bafundise ngesibhunu. So kwatholakala ukuthi umbono ukuthi akufundiswa ngesibhunu yiwona ophezulu. Laba bebizama ukufundisa ngesibhunu babona ukuthi hayi ayiphumeleli lento yabo.
There's always an attempt to try to find the one person that makes change, but I think there's a whole body of people that contributed either by their consciousness, by their concern, and by their engagement with this issue. In this particular instance, I would quote a case of a teacher who engaged me when meeting me coming from school, and knowing that I'm part of SAZIM, the South African Student Movement, to say, what is SAZIM doing to deal with the matter relating to the secondary school students who were boycotting classes because of being forced to learn through the medium of instruction of Afrikaans. So taking this matter to our guys, and we then start discussing it, and we decide, no, we have to do something. Now, in those years, at that time, I was not affected by the issue of Afrikaans, neither was anybody who was at matric that year, because it was really starting at the lower levels. However, we then took a political interpretation of this measure of Afrikaans as a medium of instruction, and then that fell within the ambit of the program of activities that SAZIM, needed to take up, because these were issues that affect the students.
There was this proactive energy in terms of carrying our struggle forward. Subsequently, this emanated into a meeting that was organized that involved all the student groups. We held the Orlando DOCC Hall, I think on the 13th of June 1976. That meeting included high school students, as I said, some of them were SAZIM members, our representatives, Seth and them, to plan and chart a way forward. It was at that meeting that a decision was taken that on June 16, 1976, is going to be a march, to the regional offices of the Bantu Education Department. And we were duly informed by our representatives, and for us, we were quite happy to oblige, and also we were happy now that, there was now more emphasis on a united front as students